Okay, so hopefully y'all took my advice and printed out some normal distributions, which I know you didn't, but anyway.
I really was going to.
Yeah, whatever. All right. I have found that this one is the best one. Thank you for whoever said be quiet. Thank you. I appreciate that. Some people have sense enough to keep their mouth shut. There we go. That's the one I use all the time. It's about 4 or 5 rows down, and it's to the right when I pulled it up. It's got everything on it. You just have to change the 2.5 to 2.3 and 2.2 or 0.2, whatever they change, whatever they put on the outside of -3 and +3. That's the only thing. Or you can just print out whatever you want to. It doesn't matter to me. All right, so make sure you have your calculators out and your tables. If you don't have a calculator, use your table, but you need to be able to use both. And here's number 1. So I want you to write this question down, and I do like these questions, not for test questions, but for homework questions, because they give you 3 questions in one shot. So go ahead and do that problem. It shouldn't take you too long. It says determine the area under the standard normal curve. Remember, area, probability, and percentage is the same thing in chapters, whatever chapter this is. Chapters 7? 6 or 7, I can't remember. 7, I think. Probability, area, and percentage is the same thing. So they want to know the area between -1.68 and +1.68. Now the old way to do it, using the curve, using the table, is 1.68 between 1.68 and +1.68. So -1.68 is right here. So that's the area that you're going to be given in the table. Okay? And then the +1.68 is right there. Now, if you're just using the table, how would you do this? Huh?
You find the area of 1.68.
Okay, you find the area of 1.68, and then what? You would subtract, good, the area of -1.68. So you need to write this down, because sometimes you might forget how to do the calculator, and you might need to rely on the table. Now the table only gives you the area to the what? To the left. So that's why you have to subtract it. Okay, the table only gives you the area to the left of the number, of the z-score. So you have to do it this way if you're trying to find between. It's kind of like, if you know the distance from Anderson to Spartanburg is 130 miles, 120 miles, let's say 120 for math purposes. And you know the distance from Anderson to Greenville is 30 miles, let's say 20 miles. Okay? Then if you know the distance from Anderson to Greenville, and you know the distance from Anderson to Spartanburg, then what's the distance from Greenville to Spartanburg? 100, because you're subtracting the smaller from the larger. So that's what you're doing here. You're subtracting the smaller from the larger to get what's in between. So it's not rocket science. You just have to use your math and your critical thinking. Okay? So somebody that has a table, tell me what the area is for the blue under 1.68, positive 1.68. So you have to look at your table. Where's your tables? You don't have your tables? Nobody has a table in here at all.
A Z, you mean a Z?
Z table, yeah.
You know,
Look up 1.68. Positive, 1.68. Huh? 1.68. You look up 1.6 and then go over to 8.
Okay.
So we should probably print out the Z table.
What? I'm sorry, what?
0.0465.
0.04?
Are not 0.95?
No, it'd be more than 50% because this is 50%, so
I thought you 0.9535.
0.9, sorry. 0.9535. Hold on and I'll tell you. Your table looks something like this. At 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think up to 9. Because how many cents are in a dime? 10 cents. Well, there's 10 right there. All right, then you got 1.1 in the positive Z table. 1.0, 1.1, 1.2 down to, we'll say 1.68, 1.6. Now, you find 1.6, this is $1.68. So here's $1.60, and then you gotta add what? 8 cents. And whatever that number is this number, 0.9535. 0.9535. Look in your table. That's how you use it. Now, you can also say, well, this right here is 2.5. 1.6 is a little bit more than, okay, that's 14. 14, half of 14 is 7, so that'd be about 8. Let's say that's 8, so this would be what? 8 and 14, that'd be 6. So 6 and 2 is 8. That's 8.5. So 100 minus 8 is equal to what? 92. So you know your answer has to be somewhere around 92% for the blue. Because you know that this, the middle is what? That's 50%. So you know that if you come up with an answer of 0.375, you're wrong. Because that'd be down here somewhere. Okay? You got to be able to read the table like a gas tank, like a gas hand. This is empty. This is a quarter. This is half tank. This is 3/4 of a tank. And this is what? Full. And you got to be able to read it like that. If you don't, then you suck. Okay? Yeah. You can't read a gas hand. Somebody needs to go check your gas tank, make sure you got fuel to go home. Okay? Whoever said that. All right, now, look at negative. So turn your table to the negative. To the negative Z-score. Or, I don't know, does this book have a 1 for everything, or does it have 2?
They're all on there.
Okay, so now you go to negative 1.6. And now go over to 8 and tell me what. Now let's look at it. Let's look at it from a common sense standpoint. This right here is 2.5, right?
yes.
Okay, and this is about, I'd say, 6. So 2.5 and 6. So you're talking about 8%, 9%, somewhere in there. What'd you get?
0.0465.
Okay, 0.0465.
65.
Now, subtract those two, and you get your answer. What is it? Well, 95 cents minus 4 cents is 91 cents. So common sense tells us we're going to come out with about 91 cents, or 91%. So what did you get?
0.907.
Okay, one more time.
907.
907 what? 9070?
No, 0.907. That's it.
That's all it.
On the table, that's all they put. Usually they have 4 digits. That's why I was asking.
No, it's That's the calculator.
Okay, yeah, the 5's canceled, so that'll be 0 right here. Okay, I always carry 4 because 4 digits is area. All right, now take your handy dandy calculator out. And you gotta tell me which one it is. Is it normal CDF or normal PDF? Which one did we say it was? PDF, or whichever. Y'all, it's the second one. What's the second one? Second, bars. And what's the second one? Normal CDF or normal PDF? P is in Papa? Or
C is in
Charlie. Okay, CDF. Normal CDF. And then what's your left-hand side? Your left-hand side is what? Negative, and use the negative button down at the bottom. Negative 1.68, comma, and then your right-hand side is 1.68. And hit enter, and somebody tell me what you get. Should be the same thing, if not a digit off. Now, they do put tolerances in the answers, so you'll have, you can say 0.9071, 0.907, 0.9069, or whatever. They'll have tolerances, huh?
That's right.
All right. So by the calculator and by the table, you should have the same answer. Sorry. Okay. Somebody's trying to sell me something. Timeshare. That's what they're trying to sell.
Oh, you should always.
The biggest ripoff there is.
You should always buy a timeshare.
No, I went through 2 of those things. I won't buy one because they're like this. What do you call it? A ball and chain. They just hang around your neck forever.
You got it all figured out.
I have a question.
Yes.
On this calculator, I can't remember how I did it.
Hold on, I can't hear because people are talking.
I can't remember how I did it last week, but like it's not set up like areas calculators. I have like the upper, lower, and I have like here.
Lower
The upper would be 1.68. Your lower would be negative 1.68.
I did it the other way, and it came out the same.
Don't worry about that. Just hit enter, and it should go through. And
Wait,
calculate.
you said the upper would be the negative
Which way do we read? Okay, which one is your biggest value? 1.68. So that is your upper value. Your lower value is what?
I did not get that answer.
Huh?
I did not get that answer.
What did you get?
Oh, never mind. Why did you do it? The first time I did it, it gave me a different answer. The second time I did it, it gave me a different.
Banging down by the river. Ditch. You want to
Oh, okay. I figured.
band out by the river. All right, now do B. Do Bravo. For negative 0.76 and 0.
So we can just do.
You can do either one, but you need to be knowledgeable of both.
Right.
Now I can tell you right quick what 0 is. What is 0? And how do you write 50% as a decimal? 0.5. So that's going to be your upper bound, or what is your lower bound? Negative 0.76 is going to be to the left. So your higher limit is going to be 0.5. So draw a picture. So I'm going to have to erase. It's not going to work, but I'm going to try anyway. Y'all are a bunch of sick people. Y'all know that? Y'all need to daggum. Y'all need to,
2 degrees, and everybody gets.
y'all need to daggum drink some orange juice or something. Or lay off them Marlboro Reds. 1, 2. Daggum Camel no filters. There you go. By the time you get through, halfway through the homework, you're gonna wish you had a sheet with the normal distribution curves on it, because you're gonna get tired of drawing it over and over and over. But hey, you know what I should suggest to people to do? Maybe make a copy sheet. That's what I should suggest students do. No, they wouldn't do it. All right, so negative 0.76, negative 0.76, there's 0.75, 1, 2, 3. So 0.76, I'll do it in red. All right, now somebody kind of give me an idea without looking at the table. No way. Give me an idea of what that is. Well, that's 2.5 and 13.5 is what? 16 or something like that? 16. And then a quarter of 34. Well, 32 would be 8. So let's just say 8 or 9. So that'd be 8 plus what? 16. What does that come out to
Like
be?
20 something, 22.
Okay, around 20, 22. So if you look in the table and you get 48%, then you know you're doing something what? Wrong. So we know that's about 22%. So I know that 0, I can do 0 in my head. 0 is 0.5. Should be 0.5, but you can look in your table and see if 0 is 0.5. But it should be 0.5, 0, 0, 0, minus, okay, somebody give me what you read for the red. In your table. You'll go to 0.7 on the negative side, 0.7, and then move over to the 6 column. What do you get?
0.2236.
0.2236. And that's exactly what we said we would be, right in there. And somebody subtract that. 50 cent minus 22 cent is like what? 37 cent or something like that? Or 27 cent? So what is it?
12764.
Thank you. 0.2764. Now take your handy dandy calculators and do second bars. We read from left to right. So our upper limit is what? Our lower limit, because we read from left to right, would be negative 0.76, comma, oh, don't forget the normal CDF, sorry, that goes in there. And then 0.76, comma, 0, thank you. And the reason I do the left to right is because that's the way I'm used to doing it in the calculator. This upper and lower limit that y'all have, I'm not used to that. So that's negative 0.76. That's the way you're normally supposed to put it in there. You read from left to right, and you put the lower limit, then the upper limit. But then some of your calculators have the upper limit on top, so you put what's on the right. You just read from left to right. Yes?
It translates it, like it puts it in there after like this, but beforehand, it's like it follows.
You have to put it in upper limit and lower limit.
Yeah, but mine does lower than upper, but it's just.
So it's reading from left to right. It's
Yeah,
doing,
that's how I do it.
That's good. So what do you get when you type it in your calculator?
You would get
I'm sorry, what? 0.2764? So it's the same. The reason I ask it is the same is because sometimes there's one digit off, and it's usually the last digit. But again, they put the tolerance in the answers, and if you miss one and it's a digit off, just let me know and I'll fix it on the test. but you gotta let me know. All right, do the last one. Draw a picture, and then do it with the table if you have the table, and then do it with the calculator. Yep, I'm going to take the day off on the Saturday that Georgia plays Alabama. I'm going to enjoy that. Well, I think that's going to be probably the game of the season. That's going to be a slobber knock.
I'd say Alabama, 2.
I don't think so. It's going to be hard to stop Georgia's running backs. Yes, ma'am. Oh Lord, police must be after me. Y'all, take my phone and everything. Just know. Okay. What did I tell y'all to do? 0.67 and 2.08. So let me erase this. Won't let me erase it on top of it, so I have to. I will give you this. I think it'll be within a touchdown or a field goal, like you said, 2 points. I think it'll be close. But I just don't think Alabama, with their schedule, I don't think they've played a running back system like Georgia.
They have like 3 good running backs, right?
Georgia has like 5 good running backs. They have Chubb, and then they have the Michelle, and then they have the other guy. There's 3 other guys they have that's not as well known. Yeah, Holyfield's son, which he comes in intermittently, and he's actually good. I mean, yeah. But they've got all kind of depth in the running back, and their offensive line has been phenomenal. Now, that's not taken away from Alabama, but what I'm saying is Alabama has not played an offense as good as Georgia's.
Alabama's schedule is soft this year.
Alabama's is. Georgia's isn't. So I'm anxious to see it. I'm going to take the whole day off. I'm just going to have a tailgate party at my house and just watch that game. Even though I can't stand to watch the pregame because those guys make me want to vomit. But
Who are you a fan of?
I'm a Georgia fan.
Oh.
So I was a Georgia fan since I was a kid because I lived near the state line. So that's why I like Georgia. I wanted to go there. I wanted to be a veterinarian, but that didn't turn out right. Yeah, if I win the lottery, I'm going to go back to Georgia and be a veterinarian.
I win the. That's so ironic. You win the lottery. You were a veterinarian.
Yeah, that way I have to work on my own cows. I do that anyway. I work on them now. No, I don't want to be a veterinarian. Then everybody be calling me. What's wrong with my dog? I don't care about your dog. Let it die. All right. But I will make house calls for cats. Dogs die. They're better off dead. All right. So, we've done this one. Y'all sucked at that. Y'all got better with this one. So you should be able to do this one without any problem. 2.08, so we'll do it in blue. 2.08 is right there. So you know that's about what, 98%?
Yeah.
So that's 98%. So we're going to draw a big A blue thing. And that's around 98, plus or minus 98% by the empirical rule. And then 0.67 is our red. 0.67 would be right in there. Now, 0.67 is at 50%. And then 0.6 is about halfway. So 17 plus 50 is what? 67%. So we say the red is positive or negative 67%. So I'm going to say 100 minus 67 is what? 23 minus 2 is 21. So I'm going to say around 21%. Plus or minus 21% by empirical rule, common sense. Now I know that's not right, but I know that if I get 98% as an answer, I know it's what? It's wrong. If I get around 23%, I know it's right. So let's take our handy. I'm just going to use a calculator because by now y'all are like, oh, bad, I'm going to use a calculator. So second, bars, normal CDF, parentheses. So we're going from 0.67, comma, 2.08. And somebody give me that answer. 0.2327. And it's not 98%, so we know we're about right. Or negative percent, if y'all will come up with a negative percent. Some of y'all will, but I don't remember seeing a negative percent anywhere, but y'all will end up with one. Somebody will. All right. So that's a good question. You should be able to do all three of those. And that's finding above, below, between. You're finding all those. We're going to do another one now. So let's bring in another type question. No, not that one. Not yet. I really didn't want to do that one again. So I guess I will do number 3. All right, somebody tell me what's different about number 3, or this question.
We only have one.
There's only one, but what's the difference? They're not giving you an area, they're giving you a what? A z-score, and you got to find the area. Okay, now there's 2 ways to do it. First of all, you got to draw a what? A picture, or curve. So go ahead and do that.
So does that actually mean like 52%?
That the area under the standard curve is 0.5200. Write it as 0.5200 because area, I always write area in 4 digits. So I had 2 numbers here, two digits. There we go. 0.5200. So we know that 0 is at what? 50, so 2%. I'm just going to take a stab and just put it right here. And put in, we know this time the area is 0.5200. So we need to look in the table, and first of all, is the z-score positive or negative? Positive, because it's to the right of 0. So you need to look in the positive section and look for an area closest to 0.5000. So look in the positive section and find 4 digits that is closer to 0.5000. Yes, sir.
If it was positive, why wouldn't it be to the right? Positive values.
It's right here. What's in the middle?
0.
Okay, so this is to the right, so it's positive. It's going to be a positive
Why didn't you
z-score.
draw the percentage in the right half of the curve?
You can draw in the curves as well.
It's right here. There.
Oh, it's going
To the blue, yeah.
going that way.
Wait, 0.5000?
0.5000. Did you find one?
0.
No. Closest to 5200. Sorry.
Okay.
You'll need to read the board, not what I say. Okay?
0.05.
0.5200. What'd you get?
I got
What's the closest you can get to 0.5200?
0.0.
No, give me the 4 digits.
Oh,
0.52 what?
5199. Oh, it's 5199.
5199, and what's the one that's above it?
0.5239.
5239. Now, if you look in your tables, those are your 2 choices. Now you have to ask yourself, this is $52 in your head. What's closer to $52? $52.39 or $51.99? That's the one you go with. Whichever one is closest, that's the one you go with. And what does that come out to be? What's to the left? Point what? Is it 0.0 right here? And then 5 right here? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay. So the z-score is 0.05 at 52%. Now the way that you do that on your calculator is you go second bars, inverse norm, and then type in 0.5200 and enter. And somebody tell me if you get 0.05.
You do.
That's how you find z-score if you're given the area. Okay? So, the 2 type questions in 7.2 so far, because this is 7.2, 7.1 is a lot of introductory, empirical rule, reading, drawing, uniform distribution, that stuff we went over last class. Okay? 7.2, you're either going to be given a z-score and you find the what? Area. And let's put 4 digits and 2 digits. So you keep it separate. And then you're going to be given an area and you find what? Find the z-score. All right, so let's do another one. These are pretty simple. So, did I give y'all an in-class test for the last test? Yes or no? Because I'll give you this one as an in-class test, and that way we'll have that garbage finished with. Because this will be easier for you. I just give you 5 of these and you just do them. Therefore, we get that stupid in-class test thing out of the way. If you want to understand it. Because they'll get more complicated, and as they get more complicated, the picture will make sense to you, especially if you're a visual learner. Okay? So you don't have to do it, but a lot of people get confused when they don't do it. I'm just saying they do. Okay, let's go to the next problem. That's why it's so important to do a copy sheet. So you don't have to draw these things over and over, because right about now, you're probably getting tired of drawing them. All right, that was number 3. Let's do number 4. All right, I'm going to let y'all do this one by yourself. Find the z-score such that the area under the curve is 0.89. Now, first, draw a picture, then do it by the empirical rule, get you a common sense answer, and then do it by the table or by the calculator and compare the two, the empirical rule common sense number with what you got to make sure that you're in the ballpark. Okay, we know that 16 plus 34 is 50. 50 plus 34 is 84. So up to this point, that's 0.8400 by the empirical rule. So 7 plus 84 gives you 91. 3.5 will give you 88. So I'm thinking right there is 88%. Okay, so I'm thinking this is 0.25. I'm thinking roughly 1.25 is what I'm thinking. Okay, and I have no idea, so I'm going to put in my calculator. Now, if you're using the table, you've got to find a number that's closest to $89. And you can do that in your table, but I'm going to do it inverse norm. Oh, whatever. 0.8900. And somebody tell me what you get.
1.23.
1.23, which is comparable to 1.25. If you come out with 6.8, then you are pretty much a loser because you don't have any idea what you're doing. Okay? All right. So, that's that. Now let's see what other kind of problems they can throw at you. What? Yep. You can really get close if you really start dividing these up. You can really get close. It's called interpolation. Next. Good. So that was number 4. Here's number 5. Yeah, some of y'all will stare at this one for a while. Unless you draw a picture and it might help you. For those that are listening. Mm-hmm. All right, remember, The right-hand side is equal to what? 1 minus left-hand side, Hubert. That's right, class. I wrote that in your notes last class. Or you could just put the lower end, which would be point. Okay, you got to find the z-score. Sorry. So you'll have to just draw a picture of it and do it in your calculator or table. Find a z-score such that the area under the standard normal curve to the right is 0.44. So 0.44 is not on the left side, but where? On the right side. So we know that's 16. We know this is 50. So 0.44, you could divide this again into 3.5 lots or whatever. Half of 34 is 17. So, I'm sorry, 18. Half of 18 is what? 9. So that's 9. 9. If you want to divide it up into that, I mean, whatever.
I have a question.
Yes.
If it's saying 0.44 to the right, doesn't that mean that you want, like it's all that 0.44 on the right side of
The area under the curve, and change this to 4400. Okay? That means, whoever asked that, means, that's what I'm trying to find right now. All right, so I know that this is 50, right? So 50 minus 9 is 51. So I'm just gonna put it right in here somewhere. I may be a little bit off on this one because 34 is yucky to back in, so that's what I'm trying to. So I'm thinking this is probably, let's see, 50. This is probably 41%. So mine's going to be a little bit low. So that's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find 0.4400. Now, I'm at around a quarter, so again, that's going to be around 1.25, I mean 0.25, sorry. But I'm a little bit low, so I may be a little bit off on my common sense right here. But so, you want to know the area of the right, so I think that's what you were fixing to ask. If you want to know the area on the right, you've got to subtract the area on the what? Left. So you might want to find this with your handy dandy calculator of 0.5600. Somebody check my math there.
That's right.
So you would do second inverse or second bars, inverse norm of 0.5600. And tell me what you get.
0.115.
Okay, give it to me one more time.
0.115.
0.15. I knew mine was a little bit off because I did 41% or something like that. So mine's a little bit off. But if you came up with 1.6, you know what? You're wrong. If you came up with negative 0.5, you know you're wrong. That's why the empirical rule and what we're doing now with the z-scores, they fit together pretty close, okay? This is your common sense, this is your detailed calculation. And if you use both of them together, it takes an awful lot of work to get it wrong. But if you use just one of them, then it's real easy to get the question wrong. I'm pulling these questions from the homework, from your homework, so of 7.2. So all these questions are coming from 7.2. I think that was number 5. This is number 6. All right, now this is a different problem. You haven't had a problem like this. This is the second type problem you're going to have in 7.2. Remember me telling you there's two types of problems where the mean is 0 and the standard deviation is 1, and then there's another type problem where the mean is some other number and the standard deviation is some other number. Well, this is the second type. So write it down and draw a picture. Now, you're also going to have to remember your z-score formulas. Z is equal to x minus x bar over standard deviation, or x minus mu over standard deviation. Same thing. And then x is equal to Oz plus mu. Now, Oz plus mu is something I do. It's probably not in your book, but I do it because it's easy to remember Oz plus mu. Unless you're one of these people that says, well, really, it's sigma times z plus mu. Shut up. Okay? It looks like a O, okay? Yes, ma'am.
See, that was an S. Underneath that.
What is that? Is that standard deviation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought I said standard deviation.
You did. I
You
just
did just.
Standard deviation here and here. You're both.
writing down the question.
I just want to make sure I didn't say something crazy. That's why I thought I said standard deviation. Knowing me, without medication, I do weird things. Okay, so you can put mu, put it down here and say 50, and then 57, 60 what? 4, and 71. And then this direction, 43. Okay, help me out.
36.
Thank you. And 29. Okay, you're just putting that in so you can set up your picture. It says, assume blah, 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 blah. Compute the probability. Be sure to draw a normal curve, blah, 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 blah. This says the probability of x being greater than 37. So that means that you're going to be 37 is somewhere, let's see, 36 to 43 is 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 36, 37 would be right here. They want to know what is the probability of, let's say these are ages of people that get their driver's license or whatever, I don't know. Ages of people have wrecks with the driver's license. What is the probability that the age is going to be above 37? That's what they're asking. Now, of course, all you got to do is look up 37 in your z-score. Now, just put 37 in your calculator. No, you won't get it right. You've got to convert 37 to a what? A z-score. Hubert, that's right, class. So, 37 minus, we've got to do 37 minus what? 50 over 7. Oh my God, that'll give us a negative number. Well, it's to the left of 0, is it not? That's what people do. And then you know what they do when they say that? They start thinking. They say, well, that's giving us a negative number. So what they do is they switch the 50 into 37 to make it positive. And then they get it totally wrong. Don't think, okay? Somebody give me that negative z-score.
Negative 1.85.
1.85. Now look there. It's almost near negative 2. Does that make sense? Yes. So now you're back to the first part of 7.2, which just put it in your calculator. Inverse norm, or what is it, normal CDF? Which is the second one? Is it CDF or PDF? CDF. And then parentheses. negative 1.85 to infinity, which is, I do 4 nines, you do 3. Anything above 3 nines. And somebody give me that. Well, wait a minute, let's do common sense. Well, this is 2.5. I say 3%, probably 97%. But what'd y'all get?
0.9678.
0.9678. And that's how you do those. I'm gonna give you another one in just a second.
How many nines do you, wait,
I'm sorry, what?
I put too many nines and I'm like.
You can put as many as you want.
So we gotta do it to infinity every time.
Well, if you're going toward it, and remember, this is, this number line right here, remember your grade school, that's infinity, and this is what? Negative infinity. So if you're going from here to 1.85, it would be negative 9999, comma, to whatever, negative 1.85. You have to read it, okay? And of course, if you were using the table, you would look up negative 1.85 or whatever this is right here, and that would give you the left-hand side, and then you would subtract it from what? 1. 1 minus the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. So if you look in the table, you're going to get 0.0322. Somebody look it up. It should be 0.0322 or something like that. And what you're doing is you're finding the area of curve. Now, are you going to see this next semester in, you'll see it in Math Science 301 or something like that, but are you going to see it next semester in psychology? Possibly, yes. You could see this in psychology. Maybe the second or third class of psychology. You'll see it in Math Science 301 at Clemson or another junior level statistics in whatever college you're going to. Are you going to see this in a business meeting? Probably not. If you do, it's going to be in a quality assurance business meeting. It's going to be in a meeting to where you're talking about quality assurance. The student that goes here that I may have told you has a co-op with Duke Energy, she walked into a meeting the first day that she was doing her thing, and boom, that's what she saw, one of these. And she said, I was glad I took your whatever statistics course because I didn't have any idea what was going on. So that's that. Okay, next. Last question of the day. Because I figured I'd fry your brain with these, so I figured I'd just stop after 5 or 6. There you go. And this gives you a couple of questions per on 7.2. So you should be able to look at your notes now and be able to find how to do these problems. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to do this one. Draw a picture. All right, so this one says, assume blah, 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 mean is 52. Standard deviation is 9, so that'd be what? 61, 70, and 79. And help me out here, 52 minus 9, 60, or 43? And?
34.
And?
25.
Thank you. I suck at subtraction. All right, so 48. First of all, we need to find 48. So we take our handy dandy blue marker, and 48, okay, 43 to 52 is 7, or 9. Half of 9 is 4.5. So we're going to say 4.5 here be 50 or 48, right at 48 here. Is that what we're wanting? Yeah. So 48's a little bit to the left of that right there, so that's 48. Okay, notice I got a approximately because I don't know exactly if that's it or not. So, but we're going to turn 48 into a, let's see, where is 0? Here's 0, so that means that our z-score is going to be what? Negative. So 48 minus 52 divided by 9. Somebody give me 2 decimal places. Negative point what? Negative 0.44. So, somebody tell me, since that's about halfway, that's 17, that's 30, I'd say it's around 33%. That's what I'm going to say. So somebody tell me, since we're going up to, somebody tell me what it is, do the normal CDF from negative 9999, comma, negative 0.44. And this is the question you were asking. And somebody tell me if you get around 33%. What do you get? I'm sorry, what? Point, be 4 digits.
0.3299.
It's a miracle. 33%. Now, Unit 3 tests will be 80% the questions we went over today. Okay? 80%. So I expect questions to come in from y'all, and I got my email fixed to where if y'all send a question, it'll send it right to my 120 folder. I had the tech people fix it. Okay? So send them in and we'll go over questions when y'all come back. What day is today? So Thursday. All right? Y'all have a good day. See you, bud. Yeah. Just bring me a couple, okay? See y'all.